What's going on, my friends? Today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna be putting graphics on a Camaro. I'm actually, as you can see, cleaning out the spray booth. It was very clean and I let someone use it and they made a mess, so I had to clean up after them. But it's also the brightest place to do this. So we're gonna pull the car in and get it going. Okay, so we have the graphics kit here. Let's see what this looks like. Oh shoot. Joking, already took it out. Okay, let's roll this out and say this, the customer got this from, it's called promostripes.com. We're gonna roll it out and take a look at what we have. So we have some directions here, and I kind of just looked through them, but it doesn't really, there's no picture of what the graphics go like. That's pretty much the only picture we have here. And all the pieces are kind of labeled out here, so I'm going to have to go online and go to their website and see what these stripes look like on the car. But basically the only thing it says is 3 inches separated in the middle, so I'm assuming we got obviously the front pieces, hood, and back pieces for the trunk. But we're going to have to cut these out, and pretty much there's no alignment marks or anything on here. So we're going to have to always just go by measuring. So we're going to have to find the center of the car. Before I even get going, I'm going to go through, we're going to clean this entire car down. It's not really dirty, but I can see there's blemishes in the hood and stuff, and I want to get rid of all that stuff before we even think about attempting to put these stickers on. Down with soap and water. Usually when you're cleaning stuff, you have a mild soap and water will take off water-based type stuff like dirt and stuff. Then you want to use alcohols for stuff like sap and things like that. And then obviously we're going to use wax and grease removers on here to get rid of any wax and grease. So there's kind of a lot of stuff. And right now, I'm trying to just take off all these little dirty imperfections. Okay, so now we're going to do a little wax and grease remover around here. Just going to put this on with one coat. Whenever you do this, you usually want to wipe it on, wipe it off, but this car feels like it has a lot of wax filled up on it. So I'm going to put this on a couple times. Okay, so now I'm going to hit it really good with a prep salt and take it off. This is a serious wax and grease remover. A lot of times you'll see people that use the gallon can, they pour it right into their rag. If you do use it that way, when you have your gallon can, you go to pour it in, just dump it. Don't do this thing where you swash the, you have your gallon, you swash it in there, because whatever contaminants are on your rag will go in there and ruin your entire gallon. And this stuff is not cheap. I think this stuff we get now, this wax and grease remover, is probably close to $100 a gallon. So I'm just going to spray it on, and we're going to wipe it with one and then wipe it off with the other. Sort of over here in the middle. This one. So I'm going to do this a couple more times until I don't see any oiliness on here, because whatever's on here has to be either ceramic coating or something. You want to get that completely off. Alright, so one thing you hear me say a lot is I don't like putting like crazy chemicals on cars, like gimmicky waxes and stuff like that, because what it does is it puts this fake shine on it, this fake finish, and then it's not really good for the paint, because the paint does need to breathe a little bit, and a lot of these things lock it in and trap it, and then they'll bake your paint. This one here, this car, as I'm cleaning it up, I can see the entire trunk and spoiler is covered in overspray. and this oily stuff from whatever wax is around here. You know, if you actually polish your car really good and keep it really clean, it'll repel water and do really good without having to put all harsh chemicals on it. A lot of these things are gimmicky and they look really good when you put them on, but they'll actually leave an oily substance all over the place that's really hard to get off, like this one has. So you can see all the overspray. So that all has to come off before we, see all that? Before we actually put the striping on it. So we got this all buffed out and all the overspray is off of the trunk and rear spoiler. I went through and was looking at the graphics. I always like to try to line everything up first. I cut them off. Started placing everything where they go. So everything pretty much makes sense. Except for there's these two pieces here, which I can't find on their website at all. I'm gonna have to call afterwards and see if it's just extra or maybe it was a different package that went in down the trunk. I'm not sure. Now I'm just gonna go through and mark all my center points on the hood and trunk, and I'll get everything lined up so we get ready to lay these things out. Right now I'm just finding my center points, and they say the graphics are 3 inches apart. So I'm marking my center points, just doing 1.5 inches on outside. I'm gonna run tape down it. All right, so I got the center line for the hood, so now I'm just gonna go and do my 3 inches. All the way down. Use a grease pencil because the grease pencil comes right off. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, so the car's all set and we're gonna get it out so the customer can take it. They give a nice look to it now. It looks a little meatier, a little tougher.